Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's an ex-professional wrestler turned action movie hero. Arguably one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, he's a business owner, has an insane workout schedule, and still manages to find time to be a father and a husband. These are just some of the many reasons why people look up to Dwayne Johnson. But today I want to dig under the surface. I want to think about what it is that I really admire about Dwayne Johnson, and what I can learn from him that I can implement into my life, and how you might be able to do the same. I first learned about Dwayne Johnson probably around year 10 in high school. I was about 16 at the time, and I found school really difficult in the later years. And I was a good student, I got good grades, it wasn't hard in that sense, but it was hard in the sense that it challenged my beliefs. At the time in high school, I sort of had two beliefs. Number one being that you shouldn't do things that are gonna waste your time, and number two, if you are gonna do something, do it to the best of your ability. But high school became a bit of a paradox in that sense, because I felt that high school was a bit of a waste of time, but I had to do it. And the question I had to wrestle with was this: does it matter if I put my best work into something that's not contributing to my goals and dreams? In my earlier years of high school, before I'd found Dwayne Johnson, I would come home from school and I would just put on YouTube videos, I'd play video games. I was basically just searching for fun, for easy, for comfortable, just trying to avoid the pain that is homework and school. But I remember when I was in about year 10, I found on YouTube this speech that Dwayne Johnson did talking to the LA Lakers about how to win their championship in basketball. And he talks about this idea of being the hardest worker in the room.
You gotta be the hardest workers in the room.
And that really called me out because it resonated with me. It resonated with my values that I was beginning to establish. My values of not wanting to waste my time and wanting to work really hard at the things that I did. And I reached a point where I knew I wanted to change. I knew I really wanted my values to be at the forefront of the way I was living. But if I was gonna do that, I had to let go of the way I had been living. I had to realize that I couldn't just get home and seek fun and easy, playing video games, watching YouTube. I would have to do things I didn't want to do, like homework and assignments and thinking about what my goals were and how I was going to work towards those. And so I sort of had to decide whether or not I really wanted to be the hardest worker in the room. I knew if my values really were that I didn't want to waste my time and I wanted to put in my best effort, I had to live out those values. And so my desired identity won out. I wanted to work hard like Dwayne Johnson.
So if you want to get there, you need to put in the work, okay? You gotta do everything the way you do anything, with all you got.
See, from an outsider looking into Dwayne's life, it looks like he's living the dream. He's got all the money, he's got multiple businesses, he's a movie star, he has hundreds of followers online. It kind of seemed to me that hard work had led to great results and living the dream life, and ultimately, that's where I wanted to be. And so I started to carry that mantra to try and be the hardest worker in the room. I got home from school and I still gave myself like an hour or so to rest and watch YouTube, but then I was into homework, I was into assignments, I was getting work on my major works done, I was trying to fit in workouts into my afternoon, and if I had time, if I did all those things efficiently, and I didn't have too much to do, I could usually carve out half an hour to try and work on a YouTube video for the channel. And then I would go to bed and do it all again the next day. And everything seemed to be going really well. I seemed to be the hardest worker in the room, at least in my own head. I could see myself getting stronger, I was getting better grades, I was finishing my major works, I was keeping up with school, I was making YouTube videos. Everything was working out, I was gradually building that dream life. But then it started to take a toll on me. I ended up working myself into the ground, trying to be the hardest worker in the room. I would sit at the dinner table, relieved to just have some semblance of a break from all of the work that I'd been doing constantly throughout the day. I would wake up in the morning and my first thought would be, God, please just let me survive today. Let me just get all my to-do list tasks done and not fall too far behind and just survive the work. Despite being a Christian at a Christian school and going to youth group and going to church every week consistently, I felt further from God than I'd been in a long time. I was relieved to be at church, but not because I wanted to know God better, because I wanted an escape and a break from all the work. I began to question if this was an identity that I really wanted. Did I want to be the hardest worker in the room if it meant living a lifestyle like this? And that's when I realized that being the hardest worker in the room and doing all these different things, that was Dwayne's dream. That was his dream life, but mine might look a little different. Being the hardest worker in the room doesn't mean working yourself into the ground. It means doing what truly matters to you and doing it to the best of your ability, putting your best effort into it and being the hardest worker in the room when it comes to those things that truly resonate with you. And when I finished school, I launched into video making full time. I was making videos, I was reaching out to clients, I was learning new things, my workout stayed consistent, I actually stopped playing video games, and I spent my spare time learning, creating, doing things that excited me, living the dream. I now try to be the hardest worker in the room when it comes to the things that truly matter to me. When it comes to the things that are involved in my dream life, I want to put my best effort into them. I want to be the hardest worker in the room. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson inspired me and he taught me the value of hard work. I don't know if I'll ever actually work as hard as Dwayne Johnson does, but I will try and work hard towards my goals. And I think that's a great message for us to all take away, is just to be the hardest worker in the room towards the things that really matter to us, towards building our dream lives. I think if we all did that, we'd all be much closer to living the dream. And ain't that the goal? So thank you to Dwayne The Rock Johnson for being my hero, for inspiring us all. Keep up the great work, mate. And until next time, guys, keep being your heroes. I'll see you soon. Being the hardest worker in the room can be daunting sometimes. It can be difficult to start, especially on big tasks and big goals. If that's you, you might like to check out this video where I share some tips on how to start those big scary things with a simple method called Eat the Frog. See you over there.